What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another match from the defense. This is between two of the hottest teams in all of Dota, two of the top European teams, and two teams that are going to be looking very strong at the next international. It is Navi up on the Rain side and mTw up on the Dire side. I'm really excited to bring you this game, and just a little bit of background history between what's been coming up in the Dota 2 scene, what's happened in the Dota 2 scene recently, and what's to come in the near future. Of course, this upcoming week we're going to see a couple heroes enabled for Captain, so we're going to see Disruptor along with Undying enabled, but right now, before this patch happened, only Wisp and Luna have been enabled. So we're going to see a Chen Darkseer being banned, two extremely strong pushers, one hero extremely annoying to deal with that Surge, and his Vacuum just makes teamfights a nightmare to deal with, and Navi already doing a very smart play in banning the Lone Druid, one of mTw's favorites. mTw is known for picking more of a late game play, slow and steady, try to capitalize on the opponent team's mistakes, and try to turtle out until their late game carry gets enough farm, and then win on the back of their strong team fight and strong initiation, and Lone Druid is definitely one of their favorites in regards to that. Meanwhile, Synderen going to be banning out the Broodmother, one of the most commonly banned heroes, also commonly played heroes. She had a little bit of a falling out 2 or 3 months ago. She never really got to the point where she was never picked, but she was a situational pick. Now she's risen back in full force just because she's so annoying to deal with the pushing, and just because she can send her spiders into the jungle, control the jungle that way, get a lot more farm than other heroes normally would. And right now, there's a lot of heroes still left to be played in the pool. There is no Invoker pick, there is no Enchantress pick, which is a very common hero in the European pick. There's no Nature's Prophet pick, there's no Lycanthrope pick. So what will we see for mTw's last ban, because Navi does have first pick? And also, just going back to the background information between these two teams, and specifically, not just the state of Dota 2, pushing is extremely strong, but mTw has found a way to control the late game with their turtling powers, and we're going to see mTw ban out the Invoker, clearly a respect ban towards Dendi, and not wanting Navi to pick up that very, very dominant hero in the laning phase and just overall in the game. But mTw and Navi, two of the top teams at the moment in the European scene, and all of Dota 2 in general. Navi, of course, held the Ghost of Gamers ranks for the #1 rank for a long time, along with the ESL5 World Power Rankings for a long time. And then mTw sort of got a ridiculous hot streak, qualified for the internationals through the open qualifiers in the West Division. Also managed to beat Navi in the LAN finals of Dreamhack. Very unexpected play. But since then, after reclaiming the #1 position of the Ghost of Gamers and ESL5 Power Ranking, they've hit a little bit of a tiny slump just before this game. They could not qualify for the Star Ladder LAN finals. They drew a series with M5, then lost to M5, and then they lost to Dare in the Star Ladder LAN qualifiers. So they've hit a little bit of a slump, but see if they can regain their form against one of their top tier opponents in the form of Navi. Navi opening with a Nature's Prophet pick. Meanwhile, we're going to see Lycan and Enchantress being picked up by mTw. So we'll see what mTw decides to do with the hero like Beastmaster. Are they going to ban it to prevent the Roar on the Lycanthrope, and as well as the jungling possibility that he can pull out? Or will they pick him up for himself? They are on the Dire side, so they can do the ancient stacking, which you see so often in these games. But in Navi, will they pick up pushing? Will they pick up late game? They went for Nature's Prophet, a Light of Heaven hero who is ridiculously dominant. Also, Windrunner, Shadow Demon in the pool. We're going to see Shadow Demon along with Windrunner just being picked up. So right now, they picked up pretty much all of their utility heroes along with Shadow Demon, a very powerful support. But Navi, they don't really like to run it like the Southeast Asians do in the Dota 1, which is to run a trial lane. They like to run Shadow Demon in dual lane, get more levels, just be more aggressive with the ganking. And right now, Navi has all the makings of a ridiculously mobile lineup in the form of Windrunner, Nature's Prophet, have a strong gankers as well. And they definitely have heroes who can shut down the Lycanthrope. Shackle Shot, if it manages to latch onto the Lycanthrope, can slow him down. Of course, the Purge won't really affect the Lycanthrope because he's just like, screw that, I don't care about any Purge effects. Especially if he picks up BKB, he'll just go ham on all of the Navi heroes. But they have a lot of mobility, they have Disruption to save the target Lycan's focusing for 2 seconds, then create some illusions to distract him for an additional second or so. Nature's Prophet with the teleportation can also gank the jungle, even though Nature's Prophet is commonly in lane, and if Light of Heaven plays in Nature's Prophet, then we're definitely going to see a laning Nature's Prophet. Navi always likes to lane their Nature's Prophet, so we'll see what Synderen decides to pick up. Will they go for a bit more late game? They pick up the Venomancer. Venomancer fade out for a little bit, but definitely make making a strong comeback. He's always banned against CLG, and Venomancer with those Plague Wards ridiculously difficult to deal with, a notoriously powerful pusher and anti-pusher, and such a dangerous teamfight hero if he gets enough levels. That Poison Nova cannot be underestimated, man. Just does so much residual damage, and with tanky heroes like the Lycanthrope coming in from the rear, and with heroes who sort of are not the tankiest, Shadow Demon, Winrar, Nature's Prophet, do not build very tanky at all, that Venomancer ultimate will hurt. And no natural pipe carriers unless the Winrar decides to pick both Mechanism and Pipe. Maybe we're going to see Shadow Demon build the Mechanism, Winrar pick up the Pipe, or Nature's Prophet pick up the Mechanism. But right now, Venomancer seems to be a pretty suitable pick just because the other team has squishies, and he's a very strong counter pusher, so he'll be able to defend against a Nature's Prophet push. But right now, Navi's definitely leaving themselves open to a lot of picks on their end. They can pick up some late game, they can go for more of a gank mid-game. They decide to ban the Tinker, so I guess they do not want to face the Lycan Tinker strategy, which is so common. If you just get Tinker the boots of travel and Lycan enough levels, they can just pretty much go uncontrolled all across the map, Tinker pushing one lane, Lycanthrope pushing another lane, get themselves easy Roshan, especially since mTw is on the dire side. So I like this ban by Navi a lot. Meanwhile, what will mTw do? They decide to ban the Bane. Now, unfortunately, I have not watched too many of the Dreamhack replays, I have not watched too many of Navi's matches. I'm not really too sure about the Bane ban. I guess they think, okay, Bane is one of the heroes that can shut down Lycanthrope. He has a Fiend's Grip, he has a Nightmare to Nightmare the target he's focusing for 7 seconds. Fiend's Grip can channel for 5 seconds. And one thing to notice is that there is no stuns on the mTw side. So maybe they're thinking, Navi's a team that is not afraid to pick unconventionally. Bane would be a solid pick up against the Lycanthrope, especially since we don't have any stuns at the moment. So I guess Bane makes a little bit of sense. I'm not really too sure if it fits Navi's playing style. He's a solid ganker, but he's not really a strong pusher. He's more of just a single target ganker who does not have AoE to contribute in a team fight. And if he gets his ultimate cancelled, he's not really too useful because all his spells have ridiculously long cooldowns. Meanwhile, Juggernaut is the last ban by Navi. Bit of a puzzling ban, you might wonder, but Juggernaut has just seen so much play recently by mTw. They just lane him so effectively, and Juggernaut in a lane pretty much wins a lane if they're facing up another dual lane or a trap with the help of a slow, and Venomancer Juggernaut, a very potent lane combination. That lane just does so much damage, and the healing ward definitely cannot be understated. And we're going to see a Wisp pick out of Navi. Fuck yeah, let's go, guys. Wisp, definitely a hero. Alright, guys. If you're just new to watching Dota 2 in general, or I know I've been guessing on Dota 1, but here's a little background information on Wisp. Now, Wisp was released about 2 to 2.5 years ago by IceFrog, and keep in mind the Europeans were still playing Dota 1 back then. And I think they only stopped playing Dota 2 pretty much a year ago because this was a time when the international training was starting to commence in full force, and Navi was pretty much the only team after the international to play in a Dota 1 tournament, which was WDC in China. So Wisp is a hero who fits Navi's play style to a T, and keep in mind he was released 2.5 years ago, but he was never enabled in Captain's Mode until this past December. And teams like Navi, teams when they scrimmage, they do not use heroes aside from the ones in Captain's Mode. I often remember seeing many interviews saying, what do you think of the new heroes? Like Wisp, Phoenix, Tuskar, and teams like Navi, like EG, who played Dota 1 for a while in the G League for a bit in China after the international. And they always said, we don't worry about them. They're not going to be in Captain's Mode. Why even practice? Why even worry? Let's just focus on the heroes that can get us stronger. Wisp, of course, was not released in Captain's Mode until I think this past December or May, this past January. I don't remember seeing him in WD or SMM or WDC, so I guess he was just released this past year, and by that time everybody's migrated to Dota 2, so clearly unfamiliarity by the competitive scene for the Europeans. The Southeast Asians and the Chinese experimented with Wisp a little bit because they still play Dota 1, but definitely a new face of the scene is the Wisp, and the Rubik ban, of course, self-explanatory. We're going to see Beastmaster being picked up. Now, Beastmaster is a little bit of a tricky hero to deal with. Will you lane mid lane? Will you go for the bottom lane for the dire side to stack the Ancients and clear them out with the axes, or stack them for the Lycanthrope to kill? It's a little bit puzzling how they decide to lane this. Will they put Lycanthrope in the jungle? Will they put Enchantress in the jungle? Surely they put Enchantress in the jungle, Lycanthrope on the top, safe lane. Venomancer helping out the Lycanthrope in that lane, so they still need a mid-solo hero if they do not put the Beastmaster there. Or, it's going to really depend, but right now he's going pretty much all in with their mid-game ganking teamfight lineup. It'll be so incredibly fun to watch. I'm really excited for this. And Wisp Tether, I think, is one of the most useful skills in the game. I'm really surprised that it was not mentioned in a top 5. I'm surprised that I didn't even think about it. but Wisp just combines with so many good heroes, especially melee heroes. He definitely makes melee heroes a lot more viable. Melee gankers who have a lot of trouble getting up into range, getting in your face, like Ursa, Lifestealer, Sven. He just pairs so nicely with them. He can relocate all across the map, get in position, increase your move speed with the tether, get the overcharge up for some attack speed and damage reduction, and just relocate out in the blink of an eye. So Wisp just makes so many more heroes viable. I'm really excited to see how it'll shape up in the Dota 2 scene. And it's really a hero that I think it fits Navi's playing style to a T. Because Navi, they like to be aggressive, they like to gank, they like to split push, they like to 5-man push. But right now mTw going for pretty much saying, alright, Navi, they don't have anything in terms of late game, except for the Nature's Prophet. If we pick up some heroes that can hold the fort like Venomancer, like Tide, and just win the team fights, then we'll be able to be fine. Lycanthrope will win us the game later on. We have the attack speed aura from the Beastmaster, so we'll be okay if we can last to the late game. So introducing players a bit, as we see the nice little costumes for Tidehunter, Mohawk Tidehunter. I like that. I prefer to see the octopus hat Tidehunter myself, but he is carrying the squid with the slime trail. Good on you, Synderen. Meanwhile, we have fucking Mad playing the Venomancer, Synderen playing that Tidehunter, Kebab playing that Enchantress, Sakshka on the Lycanthrope, and Funzy playing the Beastmaster. mTw, of course, had just a little bit of a hiccup, losing to M5 and Darrow, like I previously mentioned, but still one of the most feared teams in the European scene. Meanwhile, Dendi playing that Windrunner, ars-art playing the Shadow Demon, Puppy playing the Wisp, Havos playing the Sand King, and Light of Heaven playing the Nature's Prophet. So Havos playing the Sand King, maybe it's just because there wasn't any other role. But right now, the early game has definitely gonna have mTw on edge for a while, at least for the first 20 minutes or so, until Lycanthrope picks up the BKB. Because aside from, there's pretty much nothing that goes through BKB or I say disruption. Saksha is gonna get chain stunned down, get sprouted. Here comes fucking Mad. He's gonna get taking a lot of damage. Shouty picks up the first blood, and now mTw retreat. No, Saksha is gonna take a lot of damage. He falls as well. Why did mTw take this teamfight engagement? The early game is going clearly in favor. Beautiful blocking by Dendi, gets a sprout off as well. Dendi picks up the kill, or sorry, Havos picks up the kill, and now when they go on the offensive, Synderen taking, or Puppy taking a lot of damage from these wolves, but right now they're just little baby wolf pups. They are not the dire wolves of the old Game of Thrones. But right now, mTw, I'm not really too sure why they put all 5 up there just to protect their lane. They're definitely in a disadvantage right now. And disadvantage this early on, giving teams early level. And that means now you can play a bit more aggressively on how they want to deal with the Lycanthrope. They can go roam into the jungle to stop the Enchantress or the Lycanthrope, depending on how they land it. And we are going to see Enchantress in jungle. Venomancer helping out the Lycanthrope. Beastmaster probably going to go on the bottom lane. And Synderen's going to be soloing the mid lane with the Tidehunter. Going to be leveling up Anchor Smash. Dendi should have a reasonable time, but it's going to be hard to get a lot of denies versus Synderen just because he has a lot of base damage. And he has the Anchor Smash to spam to its fullest, but right now Dendi taking advantage of his early gold lead. Here comes the Gush, going to be hitting Synderen down quite heavily. Looks like Dendi is going to have to back the heck away. Hits level 2, Synderen still at less than halfway to level 2 himself. So right now, Navi's looking in prime position. We're going to see a very interesting trial in Shadow Demon, Sand King, and Wisp, and you all know my thoughts on Sand King, and I love how the Europeans play Sand King. They let him get the farm, they let him get experience, and his ultimate just becomes such a threat later on in the game, before teams pick up a mecha or a pipe. If he gets a Blink Dagger, then teamfights will pretty much be won if he hits the epicenter. It just does so much damage. Meanwhile, this top lane of Sakshka and fucking Mad is going to have such a difficult time. Here comes the Enchantress with the creep to harass a bit. Here comes the Venom Scale. Disruption is going to be self-cast by ars-art, and Havos is coming in. Here comes Puppy with the Wisp Spirits doing a lot of damage, but it looks like Sand King is not going to take the fall. ars-art did take the fall, and fucking Mad is going to be ganked upon. Nice map awareness by Light of Heaven, going to teleport in. Sakshka going to be in a lot of trouble. Can Light of Heaven get a last hit? No. And the Tether is going to usher away Kebab, but here comes the slow. Will they get it? Enchant being casted, but Kebab's going to be in a lot of trouble. Puppy doing a lot of damage, but they managed to pick up the kill on Light of Heaven. Puppy taking so much damage, 5-3 in favor of Navi, but Puppy did take the fall. So nice recovery by the Navi squad, and keep in mind, Sakshka did not die. And that is oh so important. He needs those early levels so desperately against this very, very offensive tri lane utilized by Navi. And anytime Enchantress pokes her head or goes into the jungle around here, then you can expect Navi to just go on the offensive. And already you can see some wards being placed just to scout out. The Sentry Ward did a nice job de-warding that, but there was a camp right there, and it is a golem camp, so you can't convert the creeps anyway. So Enchantress is going to have to run around just to pick up some creeps, and anytime the Enchantress is not near you, expect Navi to send in the Nature's Prophet, and expect them to go on the offensive for that Lycanthrope. So beautiful lane subs for Navi, but this is pretty much all they got. if mTw can weather the storm, they'll be in fine shape. They'll be looking a-okay. They will be looking good to go into the mid to late stages of the game. Meanwhile, Synderen is going to pick up the double damage rune. He has decent farm, 5-0 CS. Meanwhile, now he's going to go on the offensive, trying to deny some of the pull by fucking mad. Here comes the ensnare on ars-art. Disrupts himself a little bit too early, in my opinion, but it's going to be fine. Here comes the venomous scale. Burrow strike hitting a couple of heroes and the troll creep as well. Tether just giving Navi so much mobility in the early stages of the game before any heroes pick up the boots of speed. And Navi is going to escape that engagement. But mTw is faring pretty well. I mean, since that first huge gank on the top lane by the Navi side when they put all 5 up there. Keep in mind, mTw has more kills, 3-2. Lycanthrope is pretty high level, level 4 for him. Wisp pick up 2 kills himself, but still, just the overall levels are not favoring Navi. And levels are what Navi's going to desperately need. They do not have the strongest pushers. They have a lot of strong teamfight. They have a lot of strong ganking. But aside from Nature's Prophet, they do not have the best pushers. And Wisp Spirit's hurt, but I mean, that's pretty much all he's good for in the mid-late stages of the game. Just the recall or relocate, tether, just give his team mobility. He's not really the strongest late game hero. He's just such a deadly ganking hero, which is why we sort of saw him not being played as much in the Asian scenes in Dota 1. Just because if you can avoid the gank, if you keep people together at all times, then Wisp's ultimate just really becomes a non-factor. Now, of course, your team can pick up experience when they're afraid of the Wisp, but still, Wisp does not scale very well into the late game at all, at least in my opinion. He does not have the best stat growths. He has, you know, he has a pretty good carry buffing spell in the Overcharge, but he doesn't have the best stat growths. He awfully doesn't get too much farm. He usually goes for Mechanism or the Vanguard. Tries to get a little bit tanky in that regards. But it's not like he picks up any useful items, any useful farm, and then just, he won't be able to survive big, huge teamfight engagements. Tether, a real useful skill, but when it comes out to all 5v5 disabled teamfights, then Wisp really lacks in that regard. Meanwhile, it looks like there's going to be a migration to the bottom lane, leaving Lycanthrope alone. I'm not really too sure what mTw is doing with this. I guess they think, okay, Lycan's already level 5, he can go in the jungle anytime they want. And if that's the reason, then I can sort of see why they're doing this. They want to harass Light of Heaven because he's pretty much Navi's only hope for the late game if it goes that long. But of course, Navi, they do not like to play for the late game where one mistake can cost them the match. So we'll see how Navi decides to respond. Will Nature's Prophet be in a lot of trouble? Looks like Funzy is going to have hit a very fast level 6, and meanwhile Enchantress and Venomancer level 3 themselves, and they are pretty set to go. It looks like there's going to be gank for Light of Heaven. Here comes the Snare and the Venom Scale. Will he be able to teleport out after banging the Ensnare? A little bit of a missed micro or a misplay by Kebab, but still, you know, betting out the teleport, giving Beastmaster more free farm. Never really bad scenario. Only thing they wasted was a little bit of mana. They're going to be able to cut off this creep wave and get the push going if they want it. What did Funzy steal? He picked up 3 points in the call. While is he doing the ancient stacking? We do not see any sort of ancient stacking. And that makes a lot of sense. Usually when Beastmaster is thrown in the hard lane, he's pretty much solo. Here comes the Roar on Puppey, gets Venomous Scaled as well. And he's going to be right-click down, and Venomancer picks up the last hit. Looks like Light of Hand manages to teleport in, but he's surrounded by 3 heroes. Funzy popping a salve. Light of Hand is going to have to get away. Another teleporter is coming in. Sprout and fucking Mad manages to tangle out. Nicely done. ars-art coming in for the reinforcements. Will Kebab get sprouted? Sprout is cooling down very rapidly. But Kebab, does he have tangos? He does have tangos. He's going to try to tango up, but it looks like, yes. Keep in mind, tango has no cooldown, so Kebab manages to escape just fine. Puppey for nothing in that exchange. And the only thing they used was Beastmaster and a couple tangos. Nice recovery by mTw after that initial early game harassment. And now Sandking's got a pretty difficult time against a level 6 Lycanthrope. He can pop Sandstorm, but still, you don't want to let Lycanthrope blast it at any point in the game. It's going to come down to how well Dendi is doing, and right now he's doing very well. Bottle, double damage, and Boots going to be able to pick up a face boots, as looks like Havos managed to pick up a solo kill on the Lycanthrope. Not really too sure how he did that. I guess he just went a little bit too close. But keep in mind, Havos was only level 4. Maybe he just picked up level 5, managed to get a Caustic Finale, and that was the end of that. But looks like a shock shot manages to hit fucking Mad. Here comes Wisp as well. Winner picks up an easy kill with the help of that double damage rune. And Tether just giving Navi so much maneuverability to play with. I'm sure they've experimented with this hero a lot. And we can definitely see Puppey utilizing this hero to great effect in the early stages of the game. Looks like Puppey's going to try to swing around. Here comes the Spirits as well. Tether going to stun Synderen for a huge amount of time. The Shackle Shot does not latch on. And the Power Shot's going to be casted. Ravage managed to get a kill with the Roar being casted. Beautiful counter ganking by mTw. As that's going to be the end of that engagement. 7-6 in favor of Navi. And looks like Lycanthrope did deny that top tower. Will he go on the offensive for a Sand King? No, Havos managed to scuttle on out of there like a true Scorpion. upholding his name to the best of his ability. Ars-art going to get a little bit of farm. Going to have to be careful, but still, I like the play Navi's doing. Realizing, okay, we weren't winning the lanes as solidly as possible. Bottom lane was lost after the gank. Top lane did not go very well after that initial first blood gank. And so far, they're going to try to get as much experience on their heroes as possible. But still, they've got to be a little bit concerned because this is what mTw plays for. They play for the late game. And if heroes like Venomancer can pick up a level 11, Enchantress gets tanky enough to survive some team fights, Lycanthrope picks up BKB, then Navi's going to be in a world of hurt.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Haste Rune is picked up by ars-art. Will he go on the offensive for fucking Mad? No, fucking Mad is just going to usher him away. He does have the Demonic Purge. No, he does not have the Demonic Purge, so he's still a little bit away from that. Ars-art, of course, the primary warrior for Navi. Still picked up boost of speed. Looks like they're not spending too much gold. They go to Disruption on Cinder. Ravage is down. Here comes Wisp and Puppey. But Kraken Shell are just going to tick in. Going to dispel a lot of the damage of a Wrath of Nature doing so much damage. And Venomancer just falls in the blink of an eye. Nicely done by Dendy and the Navi squad. Will they go for the mid tower? If they take this middle tower, it means a lot in terms of map control. And will take away some of the early Roshan advantage that Lycanthrope can pick up. And I definitely do not expect Lycanthrope to pick up an Aegis anytime in this game, as Havos is just doing a mess of damage to Sakshita. Gonna be forced to cast the ultimate. The Spirit's gonna get the last hit with the Spirit. No, he cannot. Sakshita escapes in the nick of time. Kabab is gonna die in exchange. No, it looks like Wisp fell right before Kabab. Will Havos have enough mana? He does have enough mana for Burrow Strike. Here it comes, as well as a Power Shot. Gonna be able to pick off the Venomancer. Meanwhile, looks like Cinder's gonna be a little trouble. Does he have any sort of tangles? It looks like he's gonna try to teleport out. Disruption was used, no mana, and no Shackle Shot was just on cooldown. Nice awareness by Cinder, escaping in the midst of all that. And mTw, their awareness is just top notch. They just definitely know what to do at the right time. And we're going to see how this shapes up in the mid to late stages of the game. But Lycanthrope has died a couple times, and that's going to be a little bit disconcerting for the mTw side. Meanwhile, Havos is going to be harassed by these wolves. That's definitely not what Havos wants. He's going to try to Burrow Strike out of there, but he's stuck. He's going to try to teleport out. Will he escape? Looks like he will. Cinderin going to try to get the assist on the gun. Meanwhile, Navi going to destroy this middle tower if they can get the momentum. But looks like Navi probably just wants to gank the heck out of mTw, which is what Wisp excels more than any other hero. But unfortunately, you can see Wisp is not the highest strength growth in the game, only the magic wand, no strength items, so he's being hurt quite heavily by these wolves. And that's one of the problems with Wisp. He can just be focused down very easily if the tether is on cooldown, if he gets disabled. Of course, he's very adept at escaping with the tether and relocate. But still, if you manage to fight him effectively, he doesn't really scale very well into the mid-late stages of the game, like I mentioned earlier. Meanwhile, Cinderin does have the Ravage. Does fucking mad at that Venomancer ultimate? He does not. That's going to be a little bit detrimental. Still, the Ravage and the massive amount of damage coming in from the Beastmaster and the Tyrant should be sufficient, considering the Navi heroes do not build very tanky at all. Looks like the Wisp Spirit's doing a bit of harassment. Such an annoying spell. I mean, remember the old days in Dota 1 where those spirits would slow? That was too ridiculous. Now they do not slow, but still do ridiculous damage. Those spirits hurting out Cinder. Gush gonna come in just for a little bit of harassment, saying, Captain versus Captain, mano y mano. I'm a giant fish. You're just a little ball of light. I own you. But the Lord does say Wisp is like an extra-dimensional being. So Tyrant is gonna have to be a little bit wary about that. Meanwhile, Light of Heaven picks up the Urn of Shadows. Pretty decent farm. Will he go for a Midas? He has Gloves of Haste, or will he go for straight Treads? Midas might be more suitable for the late game, but it is a little late. And they do have Enchantress on the other side, so they can use the Midas on the Beastmaster creeps or the Enchantress creeps. But it looks like Funzy's going to be out. Destruction coming in, and Funzy's going to die for sure. Sprout coming in. Looks like the Roar is casted on a creep. Definitely not what you want to target, but Funzy's going to die for sure. Soul Catcher and a couple more right clicks. Unfortunately, Puppey cannot get the tether cast, and Funzy might be able to escape. No, he turns off the axes. I don't know if that was the best idea, and Sprout's going to cast it on Cinder, wasting a little bit of money for the teleport scroll. Can definitely not be underestimated. And looks like Venomancer was thwarted in his attempt to relocate, going to be casted, and fucking Mad's just like, guys, they're coming. They are coming. Will he go on the adventure? No, it's just Puppey. And Puppey's gonna be pretty much dead for sure, unless an ally manages to save him in. No, Gush and a couple right clicks by the Venomancer. Gonna be able to pick him up some early gold and get that ever so important level 6, and he must be thrilled about that. Meanwhile, Havos, how far away is he from the Blink Dagger? 400 or 700 gold from finishing that Blink Dagger. We'll see how this shapes up for the next engagement. Meanwhile, Lycanthrope has died, as the Vladimir is offering. Nonetheless, Lycanthrope just such a fast farmer in the jungle. There is nothing that a big bad wolf can do. Just gonna blow down your house if you let him get all the farm in the world. And Navi has been focusing all their attention on the Lycanthrope, definitely been able to keep him out of the jungle, killing him several times, but still managed to pick up the tread, and now he's going to build straight for a BKB, and once he picks up a BKB, it'll be very difficult for the Navi squad to stop him on his impending quest to be the best. A little bit of unintended poetry out there, but still, I like it, I'm going to take it. 3k gold advantage for the Navi side, but one tower was denied, and they haven't been able to pick up any other towers since then, and I still maintain mTw, if they go to the late game, they got this in the bag. Ars-art is going to be pushing with Light of Heaven on this bomb tier 1 tower. It's going to take a bit of damage, but I do not expect it to fall if Venomancer comes in reinforce, which he does with the Plague Wards. Plague Ward's such a useful skill in defending and pushing just because it's magically immune, and it can just tank a lot of physical damage. Meanwhile, here comes Synderen, gets the Gust, here's the Ravage, and Puppy's going to be stunned for a bit. It looks like Synderen gets stunned unintentionally, and nice roar on Dendi, but looks like Puppy will be able to escape. The Wolves doing a lot of damage as Kebab managed to kill Light of Heaven in the midst of all that. It looks like Light of Heaven tried to get a teleport gank in, or to help out his teammates. Meanwhile, Dendy's going on the offensive, very low HP. Sand King going to come in with a beautiful, well-timed burst, and looks like Dendy might be in a lot of trouble. One more Impetus Strike will get the kill, unfortunately for him. And looks like Puppy did take the fall in that, so unfortunate for the Navi squad. That Ravage just proving to be such an early game nuisance. And all the while, fucking Matt gonna pick up some farm, and the closer it gets to level 11, the more potent that ultimate will become. Dendy's gonna have to back off to the base, has Staff of Wizardry gonna go for a Force Staff, or a Necrobook. I mean, they could go for all-out push, or they could go for utility mobility. Necrobook could definitely not be a bad choice, but picks up a Quarterstaff. Meanwhile, it looks like it's so difficult to keep up with the ganking of Navi squad just because they have Wisp and Nature's Prophet. Light of Heaven, with the help of Havos, managed to get an easy kill, and now Havos has a Blink Dagger. And looks like the Navi squad, they have their Blink Dagger up on the Sand King. They can take a teamfight. Unfortunately, their Epicenter is on cooldown. Will they get for the push off? And they will easily be able to kill this bottom tier 1 tower. Also important in terms of Russia and positioning. Looks like Puppy is going to die very aggressive. Not really too sure what he's doing. He's going to be able to feed. What are you doing there, Puppy? Not really too sure. I guess just distracting the mTw squad, as Navi's going to trade a Puppy kill for this bottom tier 1 tower. If they kill it, a couple more hits, we'll be able to clean up the job as Havos goes on the offensive. Venomancer drops the ultimate. Havos will die, but managed to pick out the Venomancer in the midst of all that. But still, Venomancer is nice with that exchange. A beautiful deny by a Light of Heaven as he's going to try to teleport out. He will be able to escape just fine, but Kebab managed to pick up a kill on ars-art. Just so much action happening in this game. And Smash will Puppy teleport in with the relocate. Yes, he does. Shackle Shot going to be catching, and the stun by the Tether being such a nuisance, giving his team so much mobility. Tether is cooling down, but he's going to be able to relocate back in the midst of all that. Funzy did take the fall. Beautiful chain stunning by Navi. Incredible team play as Dendy's just been able to survive. He did pick up the Force Staff as there we go. We'll get the Shackle Shot. It does not latch on Synderen, and he does have Kraken Shell, so it looks like Synderen will be able to escape A-okay. But keep in mind, in the midst of all that, Lycanthrope is nowhere to be seen, except now here comes the Wolf, going to be chasing down Dendy. One hit. Here comes the Windrunner, going to give him some evasion. Beautiful teleportation in by ars-art, and now Dendy's like, I got this. No, I'm going to back the heck away, and the Wolf's going to try to pick up a kill on Dendy. Will they get the kill? Oh no, Dendy! As ars-art managed to kill the Shadow, killed the Lycanthrope with the help of a lot of ganks. And those Wolves still chasing Dendy, running around in circles. Going to be able to cast the Windrun and get the last hit. So, unfortunate for the Wolves, but very nice counter ganking. Playing to mTw's a little bit over aggressiveness, which is a little bit surprising considering that mTw, a very cautious team, and definitely known for their passivity in the early stages, but definitely can play all stages game extremely well. Blink Dagger going to be constantly disabled by this Plague Ward. Nice awareness by fucking Mad, as looks like this middle tower will take the fall. Last hit by Sand King. We'll see what he decides to go for. Will he go for Aghanim's? Will he go for Hex? The choice is yours. Synderen going to clean up the bottom lane, has Drums and Nerds. Pretty far and tight onto this early in the game. He did solo the middle lane, and has been able to pick up a couple kills. Meanwhile, Venomancer, Kebab has Arcane Boots, but still extremely low HP. Not going to be very useful against the nuke heavy, burst heavy, mass ganking squad of the Navi. Beastmaster went for a Soul Ring, so he's not firing well at all. We'll see what he decides to go over. Will he go tank up, get a Vanguard, as Wisp managed to pick up a kill on the bottom lane against Synderen's Tidehunter. Just kills all over the map left and right. 30 kills in 17 minutes. Not something you expect to see in the European stage game. You expect to see a lot of action, but not sort of Southeast Asian Dota 1 action. So I guess I gotta step it up in terms of my map awareness in this game, because anything can happen. Just as I said that, Tendi and Puppy did die, or Puppy died, but here comes a teleportation counter gank. Will Kebab teleport out? Yes, he will. They go on the offensive for Funzy, and Havos blinks in with the burrow strike. Gonna be able to shackle shot. Funzy's gonna take the fall, easy peasy. And will Navi go for the middle push? They did take 2 heroes in the midst of all that, Tide Hunter and Beastmaster, but Lycanthrope's going to be pushing this top tier 1 tower, going to give them a nice boost of gold. Has a Mithril Hammer, so going to be able to pick up his BKB very, very soon, might even by the 20-21 minute mark, which would be ideal for the upcoming mid-game teamfight engagement. And so far, this early game strategy of Navi, it's performing well, but it's not giving them the clear-cut advantage that they were clearly hoping for. So they go for a bit more splish pushing as Havos runs in with the Blink Dagger and the Haste. Kebab going to be initiated on Kebab, very low HP. Havos did not get the last hit off with the auto attack, and here comes Lycanthrope hasting away. Is Havos casts Sandstorm just for a little bit, and the Invisibility Rune is popped, and he does blink out to safety. Unfortunately, the Haste Rune is cooling down very rapidly, gets a Burrow Strike off on fucking Mad. Will Havos scurry away? He's trying to run, Scorpion, run, but Lycanthrope picks up the last hit. As the wolf anthropomorph thing cackles in evil laughter. The man to keep an eye out is Puppy, because wherever Puppy goes, that is where all the action. Tether going to be casted on Dandy. What will they do? They cast Relocate. Where will they teleportate into? They teleport into the bottom lane. Fucking Mad gets Shackle Shot, going to get chain stuns off. Dandy managed to pick up the kill, and looks like the Tether already stunned the Lycanthrope, but another Tether is casted. Relocate, just gonna expire, and Wisp picks up a kill on Lycanthrope, and now they're going to the offensive for Cinder, and such an annoying hero is Wisp, utilized very nicely by Navi Puppy, but Roar's gonna come in, gonna try to end Navi Puppy's ganking spree, and Light of Heaven's gonna teleport in. Will Dandy manage to escape? He has just been a master of escaping this whole game, casting Wind on 4 staff all this time. Enchantress kills ars-art in the midst of all that. Looks like Cinder will take the fall before he can cast another Anchor. And Sandking teleports in with an epicenter, just so much action killing. Oh my god, just melting that poor unfortunate Beastmaster Venom Scale and Poison Nova being casted. Havos taking damage from the tower, but they will be able to kill Kebab. But I think Havos will take the fall for that kill. And Enchantress picks up a triple kill, killing Windrunner, Dandy. So 2 heroes left on the side of Navi. Meanwhile, only 1, the Venomancer, up on the side for the mTw squad. And Venomancer getting dangerously close to that level, and where you'll be able to dish out a ridiculous amount of damage. And just checking out the items really quickly. Is there any Mechanism or Pipes in the work? Mechanism is up on Light of Heaven. Did go for the Hand of Midas. So I like that build just because he's pretty much their only hope. Light of Heaven, your only hope for the late game. A little bit of some Star Wars action going on in there. Puppy gonna go for some chainmail. Will he pick up next, or will it just be for a blade mail or a buckler? That we'll have to wait and find out. Havos picking up Boots of Travel, increasing his ganking capability by such a huge amount. Meanwhile, Drums, Treads, BKB almost up by Sakshka. Once he gets that, it'll be very, very difficult for Navi to stop this wolf. They have a lot of mobility in running away from him, but just in terms of killing him, it'll be extremely difficult. Maybe they can kite him until the wolf form does expire, and the BKB. But Sakshka, with this Roshan kill, will be brought down no time soon, unless Navi has map awareness to gank the Lycan. They probably suspect something, but they do not have the ward. They do not know if mTw is coming to reinforce. Keep in mind, Dire is the favorite team for Roshan. Even if they teleport in there, they do not have any vision over here where mTw could be all hiding. And keep in mind, this is a very common ward spot for the Roshan teamfights, as it looks like Denny's going to try to force step in for fucking Mad. The Shackle Shot does not latch. Here comes Puppy with the Shackle, or with the Tether as well. Spirit's doing a huge amount of damage. Wrath of Nature doing a ridiculous amount. Sprout chaining 2 people. Lycanthrope going to wolf in. Havos channeling the epicenter, only killing 1 hero, which is the wolf, but they will kill the Aegis. He's going to respawn very, very soon as Cinder pops around. Will they get the kill on ars-art? Ars-art might be the first casualty. No. Yes, Silent King did fall. Lycanthrope picks up a kill on ars-art in the midst of all that. Kebab gets Shackle Shot, but this is mTw's fight. They were waiting for this, and now they are going to take more kills. Light of Heaven's forced to teleport out, and like a Nature's Prophet should do, just going to push your other towers while you push one of ours. And mTw has no choice but to reinforce. And I'm not really too sure. I think it might have been in mTw's best interest to ban the Nature's Prophet rather than the Invoker, just because Nature's Prophet works so well in a global ganking strategy. Clearly they did not predict the Wisp pick, and I guess they feared Denny's Invoker more than other heroes. So you can't ban everything, and Nature's Prophet certainly making his mark. but all the while they did manage to defend their own bottom tier 2 tower while picking up the top tier 1 tower in exchange. Checking out the gold graph really soon. Gonna see the Na'Vi gold lead starting to shrink. Gonna go back to 2,500 after that tower kill. Might even go below as 23 to 21, 44 kills in 23 minutes. Will Na'Vi go on the offensive? That's pretty much what their lineup's going for. Shadow Demon, Wisp, such dangerous skankers, and they have the global Sand King with the boots of travel, along with the Windrunner constantly being tethered and relocated, and the Force Staff giving them so much mobility. But mobility, it's very important. Might be the most important thing in Dota aside from teamfight engagement, but still, will it win you a game? That remains to be seen. What will Na'Vi decide to do? Dendi, unfortunately, is underfarmed a little bit. Items being shipped on the courier, going for the ultimate orb, gonna go for a Hex. Smart choice. Anytime you can cut out one team from the mTw squad, you're gonna be able to take that team fight much more easily. I mean, that's pretty much obvious, but still. Things that people don't understand oftentimes, and since he did not need to go for the mechanism, he's able to go for a much earlier Hex, and with Tower Gold, and with all these ganks going on, Dendi will be in tip-top shape. Just checking out the overall hero kills and creep scores, you can see Lycanthrope, not even the best farmer in the game. Looks like Light of Heaven is with that Wrath of Nature, and I'm just going to constantly mouse over Puppy. I wish I had the player perspective can on Puppy, but I find free camera so much more enjoyable. It's just so free. It feels like I'm not watching anything at all. That was a terrible reference. I apologize. But you can see like the 128 CS 5-4, so he's managed to get himself off to a positive record after having a miserable time in the lane and the jungle. Meanwhile, Kebab 7-3, 1,500 gold in the bank. What will he go for? That is the real question. 4-2 on Light of Heaven, 7-2 on Dendi, been able to juke and survive a lot of these teamfights. And like I predicted, Wisp has been dying a lot, has picked up a chainmail, but still not going to be able to scale very well into the mid-late stage of the game, not getting very tanky. Only 1k HP and a little bit of armor to his name. Will they get a gank off on Dendi? Venomous Scale does miss, and the Windrunner and the Force Staff will be enough for Dendi to survive. The Light of Heaven gets gank off with ars-art, going to be able to kill Funzy in the midst of all of that. Soul Catcher, Lycanthrope's got to run away, but they get the disruption. Is the Lycanthrope Aegis timing down? Will they get the purge off? No, BKB is popped, and they are not going to be able to stun away as Puppy comes in with the relocate teleport, but that is going to be the end of that engagement. Will they decide to go for a push? They already took that bottom tier 2 tower on the back of Lycanthrope, on the back of Light of Heaven's Nature's Prophet. Gonna go for an ultimate very close to his own Hex as there's constant ganking by Na'Vi. Gonna go on the offensive for fucking Mad, gets to Sprout and Venom Scale along with a couple last hits. Light of Heaven picks it up, gonna be able to push this top tier 2 tower once he picks up the mana. Always kind of teleport scroll, so even when it's off cooldown or on cooldown, he can always be reinforcing his allies. But will mTw take this team fight? They have the Howl, Ravage, Blink Dagger, Synderen picks up a Blink Dagger as they go on the offensive, kill Sand King, kill Puppy, and not able to kill Light of Heaven, manage to cast a teleport scroll. So Tidehunter, Blink Dagger, gonna definitely change team fights. As the offensive Blink Dagger by Tidehunter, I like this choice a lot, even though Tidehunter, one of the reasons you pick him up is because you don't even need a Blink Dagger in order to be effective, you just need to walk in the midst of that, because Ravage AoE is so huge. Blink Dagger will definitely be able to counteract some of the mobility and just manage to position yourself so adeptly and get in the middle of all that and just screw everything up with your Ravage. Fucking Mad, Arcane Boots, not much gold to his name, not much survivability, so he might get bursted down before he can cast Poison Nova if all the chain stuns are chained properly. Meanwhile, the replicates are following the illusion ever so dangerously. Looks like there's a tiny bit of the lull in the action. We just looked at the gold graph, but still I'd be very interested. And it did dip down to that after the tower, but still the bottom tier 2 tower was taken. And a couple kills by Na'Vi. Actually, the kill lead is the exact same. But looks like Na'Vi's starting to outfarm on the back of the Hanamize, giving you much better gold advantage. And just Nature's Prophet constantly pushing all the lanes. And Na'Vi's doing a nice job farming the enemy jungle, limiting where Lycanthrope can farm. So now you just knowing how to play every aspect of the game. They're looking tip-top shape, but still, they gotta fear this Wolf and the teamfight potential of mTw. And it's coming to dangerous territory. If mTw wins the teamfight, they'll be able to take several towers very quickly. And if Na'Vi wins the teamfight, they'll be able to do the same. Looks like Na'Vi's gonna try to make a push on the middle tier 2 tower. Shadow Poison ars-art picked up a Ghost Scepter, nice item against the Wolf along with the Beastmaster. A lot of the heroes only have right-click damage, so Ghost Scepter is going to be key in this game. Did not even realize as Cinder is going to get stunned. Here comes the Tether as well. Shackle Shot not latching on anything. Going to get the block off with the Demonic Purge. Will he get purged as unfortunately, the Kraken Shell procs at the exact inopportune time. The moment of his death. The moment where every Tidehunter does fear. Going to be able to protect. Will they get stun off on Sakshka? No, they're going to go for Kebab instead, knowing that Sakshka has BKB. Going to bait out the teleport scroll. Will they kill? Yes, Disruption is going to be casted. And Kebab is going to take the fall. Picked up a point booster and 2 braces very close to her own Aghanim Scepters, but still, Ghost Scepter is just going to be brutal. Ghost Scepter going to destroy Enchantress, going to destroy Beastmaster, even Tidehunter, except for the Anchor Smashes and the Gush and the Ravage, but still, Tidehunter hurts quite a bit, and even the Venomancer wards won't be able to be very effective. So Ghost Scepter is just going to be such an important item, as it looks like Light of Heaven managed to kill fucking Matt in the middle of nowhere with the help of his Hex, and now Light of Heaven is just having a grand old time, teleporting all around the map, just playing this Nature's Prophet to perfection at the moment, and he's in the middle of every battle, and now mTw, they're not feeling as safe as they were, just knowing that, okay, anytime we send one person along, he's going to get ganked. It's just going to happen. So how will we avoid that? Keep 2 heroes over? If you keep 2 heroes over, then they're just going to teleport in and push other lane. So this split pushing strategy by Na'Vi is just kicking into high gear. Brilliant strategy, if I must say. And not really too sure I can stop it. I just ban the Nature's Prophet. But still, Wisp is such an annoying hero to deal with. I think if they just banned the Nature's Prophet, they'd be okay. But they weren't expecting the global nature of the split push strategy. And now he's looking in tip-top shape, a 5-kill lead, and going to pick up 2 towers very, very quickly. And going to get themselves Roshan control, which is also important against Lycanthrope. Will there be a teamfight soon? And does have Raj? Will he blink in? He's not going to blink in, does not have the vision, does not want to blink in, only catch 1 hero with the Ravage. Meanwhile, now he's just doing a nice job spreading out. And do not want to be caught by any sort of Ravages. Tether giving everybody increased move speed as Avos pauses the game. So just looking at the positioning, all of mTw heroes are here. And I think Davi was playing this game on a land center, so you're going to have to excuse them for that. Will there be an unpause extremely? Yes, 30 seconds max. Join Dota being one of the first organizers to start enforcing a more strict pause rule. So, definitely shout out to them because pausing is just really, really such a huge issue in terms of making Dota 2 professional. A lot of spectators are posting already, okay, these pauses are starting to become, and these postpones and stands just starting to become more of an issue. Sponsors are going to be like, hey, Dota 2 has huge amounts of tournaments, has a very, very nice infrastructure for Valve. As there's going to resume, Riot's going to catch 3 heroes as Cinder gets the initiation, kills Sand King in the midst of all, going to kill Wisp as well. Axe is going to be able to get 2 buybacks forced by Na'Vi. ars-art is going to die. I'm not really too sure why Na'Vi bought back, but they are going to fight right back. Venomancer ultimate going to be casted in, tethered by Puppey. Sand King ultimate going to be channeled, doing a lot of damage. Will Funzy die? He will die. First Pember on the mTw squad to die. Meanwhile, Kebab falls to Dendi. 2 buybacks. And that might be the swing of the team fight that Na'Vi needed. Meanwhile, Sakshka just gets hexed right after his BKB times. Unfortunate while he's teleporting away. And looks like there's going to be disruption. Soul Catcher being casted. Unfortunately, Soul Catcher did not latch on to the wolf as he's going to fall. But will he kill ars-art? No, he will not. Denny picks up the kill. No, Light of Heaven is unstoppable. So the double buyback after a huge initiation. Mass disconnects by the Na'Vi, as they are indeed playing on a land center just from that. As Synderen pauses the game, good guys, Synderen, pausing games. Toby saying, okay, that is a lag issue. Oh man. But still, what a team fight for Na'Vi. I mean, could really ask for a better start. Ravage was perfectly placed. Venomancer ultimate caught everybody. Wolf was running in with the BKB, just causing so much havoc. Killed ars-art. No, ars-art did not die. Just killed Puppey and Havos, but they immediately bought back. And then they just took the team fight on the back of their team fight on their mobility, just kiting around the mTw heroes no problem. Wisp teleporting back in, Sand King teleporting back in with the Boots of Travel and the Tether and the Relocate combination, getting them back in the team fight. So just buyback and just the mobility of the Na'Vi squad is something to reckon with. mTw will have to be on lookout, and you can just see the gold graph just take a huge leap. I don't know if it was just counted those. I think it just counted those deaths. Maybe not. It was just recently paused, but still a lot of. I think that was just from the tower gold because they did take those tier 2 towers in the mid and top lanes. And now after that team fight, they have a couple options. Roshan respawning in about 1.5 minutes. They can go for that. They can go for some push. Any buyback on the mTw squad, that'll be extremely important to see. Let's just check out their gold very, very quickly. No buyback on any of the mTw heroes. Will Navi recognize it? They must know, okay, mTw is not buying back. We can go for a little bit of push. I mean, Light of Heaven is unstoppable. More unstoppable than usual, as he's definitely making his presence felt. Wrath of Nature is just doing so much damage in these team fights, and although I was saying Navi, they do not have the tank ability, it looks like mTw is just being completely out DPS. Ghost Scepter is the name of the game for the Navi squad. Ghost Scepter up on the ars-art. Does Dendi have one? No, he finished the Hex. Just checking out the Wisp items really quickly. Avos goes for the Ogre Club, gonna go for a BKB himself, to get himself off an uninterrupted ultimate, and still, that's pretty important because even though you have a Blink Dagger, Todd enters the Blink Dagger, you can get the Blink in initiation with the Ravage. There's Plague Wards constantly cancelling the Blink Dagger by the Venomancer. Creeps controlled by Enchanters will be extremely deadly to face against. So BKB is a necessity for Sand to ensure that it gets off a proper ultimate. And in that engagement, he did manage to get the proper ultimate off. So props to him, but still, he was forced to buy back, and that's not something you ever want. Looks like Wisp is going to go for an AC. DPS attack speed Wisp, let's go. Of course, Wisp does not have the most damage output. You can see 13 Wisp, only 81 damage, pretty pathetic. I mean, even CK at like level 5 out damages those Wisp with average damage. Still, that minus armor aura, the attack speed aura gives to his own team is just so important, and that armor aura. No Vlads, no mass armor gonna give to his teammates, or at the moment, no items of that sort are on any of his teammates, so that plus armor aura was just something to deal with. As I'm just gonna look at the chat and just see, this is a replay cast, so I think the lag was just unbearable on that Heronet cast, as slowly but surely, or on that land center, but slowly but surely, Navi's starting to reconnect into this game, and now we will see after this team fight, what will the gold graph say. I'll be extremely interested to see how that's allowed, because Navi did use 2 buybacks, and they did die a couple, but we shall see. So, how will Navi decide to go from here? Experience graph going in favor of Navi. Experience graph not too important, but still, if mTw hits the level 16s very, very soon, they'll be okay in terms of team fight. As a little bit of friendly banter going on between both teams. You can tell it's no serious, because, you know, all caps means total seriousness, guys. Super serious. As definitely Navi and mTw are pretty good probably have pretty good relationships with each other. Not in that sort of way, guys. It's purely platonic. Don't get the wrong idea. Purely platonic. But meanwhile, this mobility and the split pushing by Navi is just something else to behold. Checking out the mTw items very quickly. Blink Dagger, Arcane Boots up on the Tyranitar with the drums. He's had those same items for quite a while. Beastmaster pick up a Hooded Defiance. It's going to be pretty useful in terms of stopping a lot of the Sand King ultimate damage. Will he make a pipe that will eliminate some of Sand King's damage by a lot? BKB, Vlads, and Necrobook level 1 being picked up by the Lycanthrope. If you pick up Necrobook level 3, you'll be able to counteract some of the pushing, and those auras synergize so well with the Beastmaster. Those Necrobook minions are just look like they're on crack once they have the Beastmaster aura, and if Lycan picks up an AC aura, they'll just go ham on towers. Meanwhile, fucking mad, still the same items throughout the whole game. Untanky as heck. Just extremely squishy. Meanwhile, Enchantress has not made any item progression either. Checking out the gold very, very quickly, just to see how close Enchantress is. Not very close to finishing her Aghanim Scepter. Meanwhile, Havost, after that buyback, still has 2k gold in the bank. Light of Heaven, after being unstoppable, is just going to be so very difficult to deal with. As looks like Ghost, or Go, is the call for Navi. And they're going to get back into this game, and we'll see how the rest of this game will shape up. As Stream Snipe is the call. Still, Smoke of Deceit is popped by the Navi squad. Will they go for Roshan? Will they go for a gank? Will they heal up and try to take the team fight? Try to slowly outlast the mTw squad by just taking all the far in both the jungles and in all the lanes. Still, I don't know if that's the best way to deal with it, because even though Navi have been winning these team fights, I think if it just comes down to full-on, you know, base fight mTw can fight it very, very adeptly indeed if they get off all the proper ultimates, but still, Ravage will be on cooldown for quite a while. Now he's going to try to take the top barracks. I think they will be unhindered in such an endeavor. And they are going to do a lot of damage. No, Sand King is just going to run around for a bit, trying to get a latch on, going to kill the range barracks because it has much less armor. Dust's going to be popped. Fonz is going to get Demonic Purge. Soul Catcher Roar is going to cast on ars-art. Will they kill ars-art? Ars-art pretty much the least important here on the Navi squad at this point in the game. Fucking Mad takes the fall for the Navi squad. Synderen going to try to run away. Kebab's going to be in a lot of trouble, going to die very, very quickly. Wisp picks up the last hit on the back of that Sprout, and Shackle Shot doing a whole lot of damage. And now he's just looking A-okay. They might even decide to go for the middle tier 3 tower as well, and looks like they are indeed have that in mind. Can they take this tier 3 tower? If they manage to take this tier 3 tower, I do not see much hope for the mTw squad just because it's pushing so dangerous. Bunzy's going to get initiated on Tether, just being chainstone for so long. A ridiculous play by Navi, just tying these chainstones. Sakshka going to pop the BKB, and good. Epicenter is not going to be negated, but unfortunately Sakshka does take the fall. Synderen going to get Barrel Strike. Now just cleaning up the mTw squad, and they were not expecting this global nature, as Shavian did die to the Ravage by Synderen, but looks like they won't even be able to kill Puppy. Venomancer teleports in. Will this Venomancer scale get a lot of kills? That is the real question. Yes, Wisp just explodes in a blaze of puffballs as Dendi is going to be poisoned. Will he die to the tower? Yes, he does. What was the deal with that? He popped a wind run. I think it just expired at that point. That might have been it. As best soul mid player of the world is called by Evos. Dendi making a small bit of a brain fart. Never lose my lane since 2011. Dendi is clearly unhappy by all these taunts. Sacred Relics being picked up by Live Heaven. Might go for a Rapier. Actually, will go for a Rapier. Do not see any other item. Radiant Sphere, and always a possibility. Or even better, Pistol Blade, get up right close with that 150 range. As Live Heaven going to take a lot of damage, cast a Hex, and now Beastmaster cannot do anything. Going to just teleport out of there. Light of Heaven trolling it up a little bit. Only 120 gold away from the Rapier, just like, fuck that, fuck this urn. Just teleporting all over the place, do not even need an urn. And your base is under attack is the call for the mTw squad. It's looking very, very grim for them. Just because it's going to be so difficult to push against this Navi squad. One of the best things you can do to push is just keep a solo Lycanthrope and just push with the other 4 heroes and Lycanthrope. But Lycanthrope can just get ganked by the Wisp and the Fear in combination with these hexes, with the Tether, the Shackle Shots, and more hexes, and more hexes, and more hexes. So many hexes, so little time. So Lycanthrope cannot even solo push as aggressively, so this is a strategy that might just be specifically designed to counter a Lycan pick. Or even just mTw, just exposing the fact that they might be weak against split pushing and just high mobility teams. So we will see if this works out in the future against mTw, but this game is still not over. mTw Ravage is on cooldown. It will be on cooldown for the next 30 seconds. Will not Navi take this team fight? Shackle Shot does not latch on the Sakshka. Looks like fucking Mad gets Hex. He's going to be the first one to fall. Chain the stuns. Very nice. Going to be able to chain the Epicenter should he desire. And meanwhile, Funzy is going to take the fall as well. Light of Heaven is godlike, has the Sacred Relic as well, so he's going to be able to pick up a couple kills. Dendi managed to get the last hit on that. 4k gold for Dendi, cleaning up the mTw squad like a hot knife through butter. As Dendi and Light of Heaven, after that little bit of trolling, just like, yo guys, I'm still the best solo mid player in the world. Never lose a lane till 2011, and I don't lose my lane to except to tier 3 towers when I'm poisoned. As Navi just looking so dominant. What an interesting strategy. It's definitely going to mean that Wisp is going to be first banned against Navi. Do not see too much of a hope. There's just too many heroes enabled right now for Captain Zone. Too many Imba heroes. And this is why Wisp was not, you know, enabled for a long time in Captain's mode. Because there are just a lot of heroes banned, or need to be banned. Wolf, Wisp, Invoker. I mean, Wisp has not been seeing too much play in the Chinese scene, but until we see a shift in the metagame towards more of a mass team fight, more of a early level 1 push with the Leshrac, which we do see oftentimes. No Leshrac ban, that might have been useful. More of a chasing turtling game. Wisp will just be very, very difficult to deal with when it's on the side of Navi's. Kebab's going to be initiated on, going to cancel the ward. Nicely done by the Funzy player. Going to be able to kill this tower. Ravage is popped, but Live Heaven is just cleaning out the clocks of the mTw squad with the Rapier in the bank. beautiful play by Navi. Just a marvel to watch. Rapira saying, hey, he's got to rape your guys. As looks like there might be a bit of a block. Dendy's just like, alright, towers may kill you, but not Fallon. As Funzy is not spared the wrath of the Navi squad. GG is called all around. So Navi takes this game. What an interesting and brilliant strategy. Just exploiting the mTw's long cooldowns of ultimate. The fact that Lycanthrope does need space to farm up. And that if he's not left alone, which Navi just constantly had 2 or 3 heroes on his ass all the time. So Radiant winning that victory in style, 36 minutes to be exact, after that long picking phase and a little bit of a pause. But still, Navi managed to clean up that victory. So I'll be bringing you more defense replays very, very soon. Hopefully y'all enjoy that. Please support me by subscribing and all that jazz. So thank y'all for watching. Hopefully you enjoy this replay. So thanks for watching and have a fantastic day.